It's time for the Men of War Assault Squad 2 Power Hour with me, TychoCelchuuu, and 35 minutes off of that Power Hour, because this is a 25-minute game. So more like a power half hour with 5 minutes missing. So it's a 2v2, Universal Codex Old Boy, TychoCelchuuu, me, and I know 223, and it's on this this snowy map. This is a cool map. There's a lot of like stuff going on this map, and I don't know if it's balanced or not, because it's tough to know until you've played a lot of matches. But there you go. That's this map. Like, see, look at all this stuff. It's like a village. There's like a burning tank. There's a church over there. I think that's a church. I can't tell if there's a cross on the top of that building. Oh yeah, there's a cross. So there's trenches, which aren't very helpful for me. There's some sandbags, which are helpful for me, spreading out my riflemen. Oh, and we're the United Kingdom, and we're playing against the Germans, and there's not a ton of... I mean, there's some cover on this point. There's that fence to hide behind, which has some logs stacked in front, so that's good. And whoa, right off the bat, fucking enemies show up here. I was not expecting this. This was certainly a blitz by the Germans of Wehrmacht army, because it looks like he's more or less neglected to cap his back point. He's sent at least an infantry squad forward to attack me, and looks like the opponents are doing the same in the middle, which means my ally is definitely not going to be able to take that, even with the bit of help that I've sent over there. Looks like my ally is doing fairly fine on the right, though, so they're focusing on the middle and on the left, which means I'm really getting assaulted here. That was a nice grenade throw. My unit's sort of slow to react. Two of them do get out anyways, but this is looking pretty bad for me. This quick German aggression is really putting the hurt on the squad that I've sent, and most of the men at this point have been killed, and that's an issue. So let's try that again. At least I have the point, right? It's my point. My ally still hasn't managed to capture his right point. Maybe that's why he said fuck. It's not clear to me what he's apologizing for, but maybe it's not capturing that point, which is putting us at an extreme disadvantage, because now our opponents have captured two and have decapped my point, so that's not good. Very, very bad. And we also don't have the middle. I've got that guy over there in the middle who I'm trying to keep alive, but right now I'm just focusing on the left. And so I guess the lesson here is quick aggression can certainly help if you've got a building to hide in, to fire it at enemies from, and then you can send people forward to throw grenades, because that's my opponent's strategy. I guess, could I have used that building versus my enemy? It's hard to know. I will have to wait until I move the camera up and see what's going on there. Kind of annoyingly, my opponent gets to use these trenches now to defend against me, but luckily my sort of vector of attack is mostly to the left of the trench, which means I'm able to sort of fire down into it from the side, which is of course the best location to attack a trench from, so that's not doing too much for him. But I don't have a lot of cover approaching this thing. He's got a lot of cover approaching my point, but I don't have a lot of cover approaching my point. I'm not sure if there's much cover approaching the enemy's point. Notice they still haven't captured that back point. Either of their back points, even. Well, no, they captured the far right back point, but my ally's now putting some pressure, so that's good. But, like, that's, now they finally capture it. So we're 3 minutes into the game, and finally they sent enough units there to capture it. So this is some serious, serious German aggression. Not to be sneezed at. And another squad is now showing up. So, I like these kinds of tactics. Super aggressive. It's not working out too well for me because I'm getting killed, but I like it. So a lot of infantry, so I figure I'll buy a heavy machine gun. That should take care of some of these people. I feel like it's sort of behind a hill, but that's kind of working out for it, because the machine gun's on a tripod, and so it's high enough up to shoot these guys, it seems like. And I do want to move it forward, though, for a bit more accuracy. Just make it easier to kill these people in the back. It looks like that guy's getting around the side. But luckily he gets shot. Nice shooting, man in the trench. So I've got my opponent more or less pinned down with this machine gun, which is going to give me time to set up a few defenses and then crawl forward with some infantry, try and get back into this point and capture it. But we are definitely getting clobbered at this point. That heavy German aggression is just really working out for them. And oh shit, it's a Panzer II, but luckily I've prepared for this. I have my light AT gun, which I've got. The plan for the light AT gun was as usual, knock out enemy light vehicles, and also I was planning on maybe blowing apart that church or that building that my opponent has sort of opposite my capture point that he's using to attack me. And there's something in the way here, like a tree or a fence or something. But I take a shot anyways because I figure I can penetrate right through, and it turns out to be a very good idea because I blow up Panzer II, so that's a nice coup. And this is really bad. He's throwing a grenade, and it looks like the grenade manages to get my machine gun, so that's really, really, really bad. I probably should have manned that machine gun with that dude behind the trench, but he's a machine gunner, and I didn't want to give him up. He's almost as good as the machine gun itself, so that's really bad. I wanted that heavy machine gun. That heavy machine gun, I think, would have been a big help. My ally looks like he's being pushed away from his point on the right, not able to assault the point on the middle either, so that's not so good. These tank crewmen now have nothing to do. My ally is telling me to capture this point, I guess. It's like, that's what I'm doing. That's like literally all I've spent this entire match. But yeah, so now my ally has just lost his own point, so a little ironic there, telling me to capture my thing when it's like, yeah, you can't even hold on to the thing that you've got. I'm actually doing slightly better than you at this point in terms of capturing points, because I've got this thing pretty much in my hands if we look at the percentages going up. Meanwhile, yours is going to the end. But yeah, some nice grenade usage by my opponents. It's impressive that they're able to micro both their infantry squads and their individual dudes with their grenades, but it's just what you can do when you're set up in this building. So now I'm moving the 2-pounder forward again to sort of plan is to maybe blow up the building. I'm starting to lose some cover on this point. I've still got these sandbags stacked near the back, but they're starting to blow apart the fence, and I'm just getting grenaded left and right. Good show by my enemies, but that's not enough to push me off the point. I still have enough infantry here, and it looks like I'll probably be able to capture it. Actually, that guy's gonna die in front. Maybe not. I crawled him behind that little embankment, or whatever you'd call it, those little boards it up. Now he's finally dead. Did I get the point? 100%. Hooray, that's the only point we own. So our opponent's at 31 out of 100, we're at 1 out of 100. So at least we have a point. You can't call this a rout if we have a point. So I'm moving these tank crewmen up because it's looking kind of bad for my AT gun. The plan is the AT gun should fire fast enough and reload fast enough to, along with the machine gun, defend itself from infantry attack, and that actually worked, right? I was baiting those infantry. I didn't reposition the AT gun because I knew I would bait those infantry into my machine gunner and into the AT gun itself, which can shoot people. But I did want to recrew it with the tank crewmen and take the original crew off, because the original crew are sort of like generic soldiers is what they're called, and they're better at fighting than the than the tank crewmen, because the tank crewmen just come with dinky little pistols, like Weber pistols or something, and the soldiers come with like submachine guns and stuff, and they're better at fighting. So that was the plan. Somehow I only got one tank crewman on that thing, so finally I got a second tank crewman on, and now I'm crawling the soldiers forward. The soldiers even come with grenades, one normal grenade and one smoke grenade. So I'm really not sure what that Panzer II's plan is. He knows there's an AT gun here. I'm firing armor piercing shells, but it looks like the barrel's basically eating it. These are some really impressive barrels, I guess. Or maybe I'm hitting the corner of that house also, in which case I can understand, because this is just a 2-pounder. But I guess my opponent figures I don't see the Panzer II, which is weird because I'm firing at it, and I think that reveals my thing, but whatever. I guess my opponent figures I can't see it, can't hit it. But here I go. I'm creeping forward trying to get a shot on it. Notice what our opponents have purchased, basically. Well, actually, over on the right, I'm not sure what's going on. There's some sort of vehicle in the middle, maybe a tank. But my opponent over here has only purchased infantry. These fucking sandbags are in the way. Has only purchased sandbags in sort of a hill, a bit of an incline. My opponent has only purchased infantry and light tanks so far. So that's cool stuff. Making do with just the lower end of the spectrum, which is of course what I like to do if you watch a lot of my videos. Now the Panzer II sees me, and I see it, and I don't know why he's getting me in this fight. That's just a really bad choice. It's still going forward. I killed some of the crewmen, but I guess it's still driving, and I killed some more of the crewmen, but I guess it's still going. And I don't know why my 2-pounder refused to shoot at that, but now I draw another bead. I guess that's a hill or something. It's getting away, which is not good. I want to kill this Panzer II, and can I shoot this? The man is standing in the front. Maybe I should have just sacrificed that dude, because now this thing's fucking loading AG, and god, it looks like the Panzer II is gonna get away. So that was unfortunate. I probably maybe could have done that better. I feel like before it drove to the left of the house, I had like one shot on it, and I'm not sure why the AT gun didn't take it. Maybe it was reloading. But anyways, now that I sort of have my point on the left, the aggression seems to have stopped there. I'm going to refocus to the middle. There's a Panzer IV, so I guess my ally's been fighting that for a while. So I buy a mortar, I buy an infantry squad, and I buy a heavy MG. I figure these will be able to take out most of the stuff that I have to worry about in another infantry squad. Wow, I'm serious about this. I figure this will take out most of the stuff I have to worry about in the middle, except that Panzer IV. And right now my plan for the Panzer IV is I have no idea. I think I'm praying that it just keeps preying on my ally, is the goal with that. But what am I? All my people are dying. I didn't even notice this was happening. They ran into this church, and it turns out there was people in the church. Like, go fucking figure. Luckily, I am able to clear it out at the cost of like half the squad or something. So I told people to take cover behind the church, but it turns out half of them decided to go in the church. Those are the half that died. The people who didn't go in the church lived, and so then they were able to later occupy the church. So the plan is just to bombard with the mortar for a while, soften up the middle, and once the middle's softened up, I'll move in. My ally has now lost his point on the right, so our enemy's at 53. We're at 1 still, and there's this guy up in the bell tower. Impressive. That's like the bell tower from Vertigo, the Alfred Hitchcock movie. Which, I don't know, it's not a bad movie, I just don't get as much out of it, I feel like, as most people do. Everyone seems to fucking love that movie. They're like, it's the best movie ever. It's better than Citizen Kane. I don't think it's better than Citizen Kane. Although Jimmy Stewart is saying, like, color your hair. That's pretty good. So I guess I'm figuring I should blow up this building by now, because like it's just annoying that he's got all this cover and stuff. But then, if you're watching in the upper left, I killed a flamethrower support infantry, so I guess that's what set that on fire. I didn't notice this at the time. But it looks like my mortar is probably doing its job. I assume it's killing stuff. Then, like, how could it fail to be? And the Panzer II, I was expecting it to reposition. I'm not sure why I didn't move the AT gun over sooner. I was just like sort of trying to figure out when the Panzer II would reposition. But the plan was always to move the 2-pounder over here when the Panzer II realized that I was making an assault on the middle. So right now I'm just going to move this machine gun up and take cover behind this wreck of a tank, and also kill some stuff in the middle. Notice the middle is being decapped. I can't remember if those are my infantry or my ally. I wasn't watching very closely. But I was like, shit, the 2-pounder isn't over here yet. And the Panzer II is here, and this is not good. But the assault is continuing. The mortar is still going. There's a Panzer IV in the distance, but I'll worry about that when we get there. My 2-pounder, I don't know why I stopped it in the middle of that road. I guess I was trying to catch the Panzer II as it went over, but the Panzer II obviously much faster than my 2-pounder. But here we go, creeping forward, plus the mortar, plus the heavy machine gun is making it happen. And good, the bait has worked. The heavy machine gun bait is drawing the Panzer II forward, and which means this thing will be able to fire. And no penetration there, which is bad. Now it sees me, and now it shoots a guy. So that's not good. Get the fuck on the gun. Get on the gun. Run. Why aren't you running? Sometimes people in buildings seem glitchy to me. So I have to take these people off the heavy machine gun and get them onto the 2-pounder. And then I'm like, they're probably gonna die. So let's get these people and get them onto the 2-pounder. Boom! Nice shot. Knocks out a tank crewman, but I'm not sure if I damaged anything on it. Now this refuses to fire, and I knock out a tank commander, but they pay for it with their lives, and it's still coming, and boom! There's still one guy on it. Okay, cool. So it looks like that Panzer II is fucked now. Good, finally knocked out. That was tense. Now it's on fire. You can stop shooting at it, a little AT gun. That's why I gave them move order. That, and because now they know where it is, so I'm moving it over here. I'm not sure what it's gonna do over there, but whatever. Now it's time to try and take the middle. I figure I've mostly cleared it out with this mortar, and now I can recrew the HMG. Which I set up sandbags for that heavy machine gun because I wanted it to last as long as possible as bait for the 2-pounder. And my ally still doesn't have his point, but he is attacking the opponent's point, so that's good stuff. And now he's got his point, so things are looking slightly up for us. If I can take the middle and my ally can take that other point, we'll be in a better position. We still have to deal with the Panzer IV and I'm sort of running low on resources at this point, having spent it on a bunch of bullshit that's getting killed. But I'm repositioning the machine gun now that I have this Panzer II for cover, and let's send some infantry into the middle. No, let's smoke grenade first. Let 'em have it. Got it, sir. Yeah. What is that guy whining about? Looks like now fighting has broken out because my opponent has sent some people to the left, which means my people have started shooting at it, which means he can see my people, so his men in the building are now firing at me. But this flank is not working. There's just no cover over there. Look at it. It's a little gully. There's a stream and stuff. That's not the place you want to assault through. My machine gunner is just going to wreck you. And now we've got smoke up, but oh shit, it's a Goliath. What the fuck? I get them. Just shoot it with the... Get them. Run away for the... He's going for the machine. Hit it with the... use your bullets and the run. Get the machine gunner. Fuck. So I think he blew his load a little... Or, oh no, he did kill a machine gunner. That sucks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't know, Goliaths seem like kind of weird things. So in real life, the Goliath was attached to a little, like, wire. They weren't wireless, right? They didn't have, like, iPhone apps to control your Goliath. You had to, there was an actual wire. If you watch Canal, the, World War II movie, a guy sort of runs up and cuts the wire on the Goliath, and everyone's like, hooray. I'm not sure everyone was like, hooray, but he did that, so that was cool. In Assault Squad 2, there's no wire on the Goliath. The Goliath is remote controlled by God, and he just fucking like drives it wherever he wants, then it explodes. So that, plus the fact that it can run over things, as you've seen in one of my previous videos. If you watch my previous videos, if you haven't, go fucking watch those things. What's wrong with you? I don't know, I think the Goliath is kind of a weird thing. One of the fun things about Assault Squad 2 is that it's sort of more realistic than... Well, I'm trying not to lay sandbags at this point, so I hit escape. That clearly doesn't work. One of the fun things about Assault Squad 2 is that it's slightly more realistic than other games. It's not perfectly realistic, like, you know, people fucking keep posting on the Steam forums, like, make the tank ranges longer or something to make it more realistic. And so, like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's not realistic about the game, but, you know, it's not, like, completely insane bullshit most of the time. But then, you know, the way some of the weirder stuff works, like the Goliath and the radio operators, that sort of super anti-realism is like, I don't know, especially when it's like huge explosions and stuff, like, it seems like kind of bullshit to me. Because I don't have a Goliath is really why I'm complaining. I don't know. I like it when the game is more about infantry and tanks and light vehicles and artillery and AT guns and stuff, and less when and mortars, and less when it's about like remote controlled high explosive tiny things, or like magic smoke call-in artillery, or this thing. So I buy this thing with my hero unit points. The part of my brain that realized that this was like a AVRE tank, like a high explosive shell tank, like there's part of my brain, I'm not like a complete idiot, like I sort of realized that. But like, I wasn't really thinking, like that part of my brain is not linked up to the part of my brain that like decides what tanks to purchase and stuff, because I fucking bought this thing when I don't need it at all. I mean, yes, a big explosive gun is maybe nice to shoot some of these infantry on this point, but what I really need is an actual tank. So I buy a Sherman, an actual tank. And I figure I don't know, I guess I'll use this stupid other tank to blow up some stuff, but whatever, that's not really what I need. The Sherman, the goal is now to take out this Panzer IV. Sherman's taking some serious anti-infantry fire, which kills the gunner on top, which is unfortunate, and I can't even line up a fucking shot on the Panzer IV before I'm blown apart. That's really unfortunate. Now I'm just left with this stupid gun that lobs explosive shells at too high an angle to ever fucking hit these sandbags, is what it seems like is going on. And now... just it's not, oh there, finally that's a hit. Takes out some sandbags, so now I'm like looking really bad. Instead of a tank, I figure I'll buy an armored car, and now I'll send it to the middle because the tank seems to be repositioning to the left. I just need something that stands up to infantry fire and that shoots infantry. And this is bad because now there's a Panzer IV coming from my Cromwell, and my Cromwell is not an anti-tank tank, it just fires big explosive boom boom gun shots. It's an artillery tank. So I'm running away now. And yeah, that's the plan. And then it fires anyways, and it fucking knocks out the Panzer IV! Woo! The side hit on the Panzer IV must have been a lucky penetration, and that's the, I think, weaker armored Panzer IV. I probably hit the engine or something, maybe, and fucking Panzer IV is down. So that's a good thing for me, and this means my armored car can now drive over here and wreck all these people who are trying to flank me. which is good because they can't deal with the Panzer IV because I just knocked out their anti-tank, unless they have infantry that can do it. But this this Daimler armored car is really a pain now for my enemy. It's got a nice little gun that can shoot infantry, and then it's got a pretty sweet coaxial machine gun, which will do the work versus the enemy infantry, so that should be what I need to take. At this point, myself and my ally have managed to take the middle, so maybe for the first time our points will start counting up, or the first time after we got our 1 point. But now here's a vehicle coming in. If you look in the distance, you'll notice that's like a verbal vendor, and yeah, that's a verbal Wind coming in, and I'm pretty sure the verbal Wind can punch through my Daimler armored car. I don't know why I experienced a performance drop there, but yep, it can definitely punch through my armored car. It's fucked just from a couple bullets, but I figure, look, if I can kill a Panzer IV with a Cromwell, I can kill a verbal Wind with a Cromwell HE shell. First shot, I don't know, I didn't hit it. Maybe it impacted the side of the building, or it did hit it but didn't do anything. I figure this thing is open on top. It's got like paper thin armor up there. How hard can it be for this HE thing to knock it out, especially considering it can't hurt my tank? It can de-tread my tank, but that's it. So I'm just like, no problem. I'll just shoot this thing. It's killing all my infantry, but whatever. Boom! Direct hit maybe? It fell a little short, but doesn't kill it, so I'm thinking, whatever, I'll shoot it again. Surely at some point I'm gonna blow this thing up. Like, how hard can it be? It's killing, like, literally everything, but whatever, I just gotta wait till my Cromwell reloads enough, and I'll kill the Verbal Wind. It's even the same chassis as the Armor 4, or as the Panzer IV, so it's got the same armor, so like, how hard can it be? And oh no, it's a Panzer IV shooting at me. So I wanted to get one more shot off on that Verbal Wind and kill it, and then retreat from the Panzer IV, but it doesn't kill the Verbal Wind, and I don't know. I'm thinking you probably need a side hit, or you need a lucky engine hit, or you need a good penetration angle or something. Just shooting it with this 95 millimeter QQF, whatever that means, it's not going to do it. I was trying to crawl forward enough to hit it with AT grenades. Turns out that doesn't work when there's infantry there scouting for it. And this is looking pretty bad. They're at 90 points. Another shot just impacts on the front armor and doesn't do anything, although it does kill a nearby infantryman. So at least front armor, not gonna happen. I can't really drive around the side of it because there's a Panzer IV on the right, and if I go on the left, maybe I could go on the left. That's sort of extending a bit further than I would prefer to. I've got the 2-pounder lined up. The Panzer IV finally manages to knock out the Cromwell a bit, kills a guy inside, but the loader is still there and the driver's still there, so like whatever, that's all I need right now. It's not like there's anything for the tank to do aside from load the gun and then fire the gun. So the turret is dead, so I can't turn, but I can just turn the tank. And again, nothing happens to the Verbal Wind, so there's your lesson. It's just not going to kill it. So now I'm like, well, fuck, I need something to kill this thing. I'll buy a tank, Panzer IV, right? Or a Sherman. Because the Sherman can certainly knock out the Verbal Wind, and the Sherman can stand up the Panzer IV, you know. Panzer IV is better usually, but the Sherman, it's not impossible for the Sherman to knock out the Panzer IV, so that's what I'm figuring on. I think probably, yeah, my first goal is to knock out the Panzer IV, and that's what the Sherman does, so that's a good show from the Sherman, and now it's trying to kill the Verbal Wind, which is tremendously resilient, but the 2-pounder is now killing people up top on that thing, and I figure maybe I can just like kill all the dudes inside it. Trying to save my 2-pounder with the Sherman. Nice job there, Tycho. And they're going to try and repair, it sounds like. So that tread has been knocked out. The left tread on the Verbal Wind has been broken basically since I started firing at it with the explosive thing. And they're at 97 points. I need to make this assault happen in these last few seconds. He's crawled forward and grenades me, which is pretty good. Looks like the Verbal Wind doesn't have anybody left inside, and now it's knocked out. And so I'm trying to take the point. And I'm losing a lot of infantry to do that. They're losing a lot of infantry too. The Sherman is definitely helping. We have now 2 points to their 2 points, so we're capping a third. So they're at 99. I stopped the countdown at 99. That's climactic. And now we just have to hold, and I don't have any money left to buy anything except hero units, which I should probably be buying something right now. Any moment now. Maybe I won't. I always forget. So yeah, this is we're not gonna win. Like, they have 99 points, we have 1 point. They just have to take like anything. And we're fucked. And look, they're taking the point on the right, so that's no good. Unless my ally can get that back, we're going to lose. And spoiler alert, we lose. My ally doesn't get that back. So, fun game. They were aggressive. Good stuff.